The draft is looking strong, a lot stronger than the first two games we got to see them run. And right now, I think both sides have equal footing, the 50-50 on the way.
Yeah, I mean, even with the Paquito last time, it was actually a decent game for BTK in the early and mid. It was just that big collapse. Once the Hayabusa got online, once Basic got online, that's when the problems started to occur for BTK. So I'm not counting this Paquito out at all. The CC is there for the team, but Cloud9 has a very clean draft as well.
It's the final countdown. Ladies and gentlemen, we are at the final game. Game 7. Cloud9 taking on BTK. It's all or nothing.
And a chance at a reverse sweep. Who would have thought it? The BTK has been able to push on forward. Hoon meditating, laying on the couch. He knew the entire time. And right now, both sides at equal footing. A chance to claim that crown for North America.
All right, so do you think if BTK wins, Hoon will get up? Do we think he will get up if BTK wins? Or will he'll just close his eyes and go to sleep at that point? He's like, all right, it's finally time to rest. Coming into this game, though, looking at the drafts, I mean, I'm wondering, it already looks like it's getting pretty aggressive early on, and it does look like Shark is going to take the Gatad and Fried Chicken with that Cho and the XP.
Yeah, and Shark, we do have a little bit of a CC going on to Mark Cutie. He's going to dash himself to safety.
Yeah, going to go back to safety. I mean, there's a lot of sustainability for the Bloodthirsty Kings. And yeah, you are right on the money with Shark, right? He ran this Gatot in the roam position. And again, we're going to see Chicken on this Cho. He's going to be paired up against Nass on the Ruby.
Yeah, Basic doing a good job at freezing lane up there, trying to keep it on his side. Bazia not falling for the tricks. I'm wondering, I feel like mid is going to be so crucial in this game. Shark and Hoon, Mark Cutie, Cole World. It's been the matchup of the season. And honestly, both of them, it finally feels like BTK, their mid is rotating very well. Cloud9 as well. Cole World on this raft. We know how fast he moves around. We know his plan with this hero.
Man, and doing such a good job of kind of reading some of these. I know in the last game that MobaZane played Paquito, I was kind of wondering about some of these kills that MobaZane was kind of trying to initiate. He didn't get the kills. They were mostly assists. Ooh, we're going to go ahead and start a fight here.
Yeah, G-Kondo from Chicken may be the opportunity, but both sides fighting it out. The Lantern dropping down, and Zane able to get the retribution for the Bloodthirsty Kings. Hoon will punish best player. Mark Cutie responds back, finding Hoon. That'll be a 1-for-1 trade and a turtle over to the Bloodthirsty Kings.
That is a good trade for BTK right there. You get a little bit of gold, and I mean, the most important thing is you get the kill on the best player.
Yeah, and that's already going to go. You know that's the frustration is going to start setting in. They have really kind of honed in onto best player, and this is what I was kind of waiting to see from them too, especially with the focus that Cloud9 put in on the early stages of this series against MobaZane, being able to find him, being able to isolate him. Here, they're really kind of honing in down onto best player, especially because he has such a good early game spike when it comes to that Julian. You shut him down in the early game, there's not going to be much that hopefully he can do toward the mid and late game.
Yeah, and right now, I mean, speaking of these pickups, right, we know the Lantern can be very aggressive in the early phase. It can pretty much zone out an entire team, but Mark Cutie, he has this Valentino. We got to look at what ultimate he's going to use. Does he go in for the Way of the Dragon? Does he go for the AOG? Or does he go in for that Crimson Beacon, right, to be able to have that AoE damage to pretty much zone out the side of BTK?
Yeah, I think Cloud9 here, you know, I think they just need to take this, not be scared to take this game slow, not be scared to let this play into the, you know, maybe even the 15-minute mark. I feel like we've seen it time and time again that Cloud9 plays very comfortably when there's a bunch of towers down on the map, plays very comfortably when, you know, there's plenty of space to move around and everyone's got a lot of items. I really feel like Cloud9 needs to look for that type of position in this final game.
Yeah, I mean, we've talked about where they shine, especially when it comes to macro, when it comes to the synergy. They've been able to really kind of slam down onto BTK. These last few matches, I've seen that same macro, that same synergy start to show its cracks, to the little bit of the frustration starting to show through here. Ooh, we have Mark Cutie with a possible flank.
Yeah, they're going to look for the trade. They're going to go in for the side lane instead of the turtle play. A smart decision. Zia will be punished right there. Shark with the AOG a little late to the party, and you will see Zia pay the ultimate price. But on the turtle, BTK looking to possibly get this trade, and it looks like they may be able to get it zoning out Nats on top of that.
I mean, BTK gets turtle, but honestly, I like gold. I like getting the gold laner. I like getting the gold plating. I feel like Cloud9, that's a big win for them.
Well, yeah, and then they're doing exactly what they should have been, what we were kind of critiquing from BTK, where they just let turtles go for no reason. There was no answer. There was no reply. Here, Cloud9, they know that they don't have the advantage at the turtle fight, so they're going to go ahead, put that pressure onto the gold lane, get that gold plating, start to get Basic fed so that he can start being the nuisance he needs to be by mid-game.
Yeah, right now, I mean, BTK, 2 turtles on their side, and when it comes to those win conditions, I mean, they thrive. Their chance of winning goes way higher, especially when they're able to take these turtles to have the slightest advantage. But I'm right there with you. With Zia falling on the top side, it could be a little questionable for the damage she's going to be able to dish out in these engagements. And you can already tell Cloud9, they're willing to give up these turtles because they go for the pickoffs.
Yeah, I mean, it's almost more than questionable, right? Because we saw last time Zia was on the 1-1, even after getting 3 items in, the damage wasn't quite there. I mean, yes, there was some threat, but it was tough. But this early on, taking a death, falling 500 gold behind Basic, could spell trouble. So I think at this point, BTK, maybe look for a gank of your own up in that top side. Look for some pressure to slow Basic down.
Oh, and here, a little bit of CC on the mark. Cutie just narrowly avoids the pull coming in from Hoon. Now starting to kind of readjust around the map. A lot of pressure here. Like I said, they've really kind of honed in on Zia now because of that last game. He was able to, even at the 16-minute you waited for Zia to come online, still became an issue for the side of Cloud9. Here, they're not going to be taking those and making those same mistakes.
Ooh, there goes the BMI and the Blazing Duet.
Whoa.
Back to safety. Crossbow Tang, he found the weakness points in a matter of seconds, so both sides will trade equal damage.
More of a defensive crossbow of Tang at that point. The damage still not quite there, but he does survive the gank. On the mid side, watch Hoon and Shark, man. They are moving. They're stinging all over the place, and that's a lot of times is one of the problems that I see with BTK currently. Hoon kind of hangs out a bit too much in the mid, but lately, these past couple games that they've been winning, he's been getting very involved.
Yeah, and they're going to go ahead, start things up. Another turtle that just is unable to be contested by Cloud9. This time, not much of a response coming from them.
I mean, and if they don't find a trade for a pickoff, then BTK is going to start scaling, and that could be the difference that Zia needs, especially falling that early. I mean, there already goes the DHS in his favor.
So, I mean, at this point, gold not really escaping BTK. I think Cloud9's job, again, they can still just take things slow, keep their lead, try to get a couple pickoffs. I think keep on focusing onto the gold lane, get those ganks whenever they can. And outside of that, I like their late game, man. They've got the Rafaela, who's going to heal more and more. They have this Claude, who's going to be moving more and more, outputting more and more damage. I do feel like they're in a comfy position right now.
Yeah, and especially because when we saw that was the Rafaela was kind of the answer to the crossbow of Tang when it came in through the late game. Even the damage coming out, there's just so much healing. And then you have the Flask of the Oasis on top of that, adding shield every single time the healing comes out there. Ooh, we have a little bit of a surrounding here for Basic.
Yeah, we were saying they needed to respond back, right? Needing to find an opportunity to shut down the gold laner of Cloud9, but Basic not going to go out without a fight. A great Blazing Duet to be able to stop BTK on the push.
Not only does he get away, but he scares them away while doing it. But a nice hook.
Ooh.
More damage,
Able to
top
connect,
side.
and a little bit more damage. Oh my goodness, a double decondo AOD with the follow-up in the crossbow Tang. The finesse on the way. Basic will fall, but Zia may be punished. Best player able to shut him down. Shark needing to get back to safety. Hit with the I'm offended. Zane with the heavy left punch takes out Cold World. Best player gets the double. Finding Shark. Now 3-1 on the top side. Now 2-3 on the top side. And Zane and Hoon left to defend.
Yeah, and with that, you're going to be looking at a 2 down for BTK. They're going to go ahead and start looking for some positioning around this Lord. A little bit of an advantage to them now, about a 1K gold lead. They were able to answer back. This is the one thing that we've been talking about. You need to be prepared for the answer back from Cloud9. There, no matter when you get the kill, no matter what kind of pickoff you have, you need to be prepared for that response that comes out from Cloud9 because they're not going to let it go silently.
At this point, both teams definitely know what's on the line, right? Neither team letting anything go silently, not even a tower. I don't think we've been 10 minutes in where a single tower hasn't been taken. Hoon able to get out of that one. Still a little bit of a vie for the first Lord, but keep our eyes on Basic up in the top side. The question still rises, is this a good or bad thing?
Yeah, you can definitely tell a lot of nerves for both sides, not wanting to be too aggressive, not wanting to be the one to create the mistake that can ultimately cost them this series. You are seeing the Lord at about 45% HP. Chicken, a great engagement on the Nats with the way the Dragon set up. AOG from Marcuti dropping down. We'll connect on the Shark. Chicken will fall. Marcuti will be the one to find him. One member down for the Bloodthirsty Kings, but they're still going to push in for this objective. Best player a little bit quicker at the Retribution, able to get it. 4C9 finds a kill on Zane and Zia. 3 members down for BTK. Make that 4 as Cold World will find Shark.
Man, we were talking about the pressure, and it's starting to pay dividends now. Basic able to come in with the blazing duet, the amount of damage he's able to release onto BTK, allowing best player to come in to do the cleanup job, and just like that, 4 members of BTK fall.
Yeah, that is going to be devastating at this point. I mean, it is MobaZane goes down, everyone takes a shot to the face there, and C9, they feel it. They have the momentum. They're going to start trying to make moves around the map. Look at everyone in a different lane.
Yeah, you do see the way the Dragon set up too from Chicken. Now forced to go back to safety as the Lord marching in on the top side. The knockup from the enhanced chains. A great setup. But can they follow through? Zia able to find Nats. Quick punish. Nats very low. Shark will fall. Cold World able to take him down. That is going to be a 1-for-1 trade for both sides.
Oh man, and just like that, a 7K gold lead for the side of Cloud9, down to high grounds of BTK.
At this point, can they defend? Zia still dancing, still trying to make something work. Cloud9, I mean, I think as long as they play this safe, they're in complete control, and I think it's been the game plan from the beginning, right? Just play smooth, don't overextend, get our gold leads where we can, control the map.
And just look at the difference of what 1 minute can make as well, right? 1 minute ago, BTK had all their turrets. Now they're down to an inhibitor on the bot side, and Cloud9 having a lot of insurance to work in their favor. That just shows you how one little mistake can be the difference.
Well, and especially for teams like this who are just so well synergized, who have such a grasp on the macro and what they need to do and where they need to push, especially with the benefit of a Lord coming out. It's just, you cannot give up. You've talked about it before. You can't give up an inch because these guys are going to take a mile for it. Here, right now, 12-minute mark, a BTK on the back foot with a 7K gold deficit.
And look at this defense that Cloud9 has over the river. Look at the defense that they have. I mean, just this line of members, and they're getting back to that angled style play that Cloud9 does so well, especially in a game when your enemy has no towers. Best player going up to the top side. And at this point, they just wait. So the question is, like, how does BTK break through this, right? Either Fly Chicken gets the big kick, gets the pickoff, or Shark gets the big AOG. But I think it's definitely, they have to find at least one member to kind of crack through the armor.
Right, I mean, it was just that one engagement that really opened up the map for Cloud9. I still think BTK can take the fight when it comes to the 5v5, but they're definitely going to have to be more careful on positioning, because if they fumble that opportunity again, Cloud9 are going to look for the early finish.
When you see right here, Fly Chicken dancing around Cold World here. I'm not even sure if he knows if he's in that bush, if he's cleared it just yet. Cold World very patient right now.
I don't think I don't think Fly Chicken knows he's there at all. And Cold World, just like the patience is a virtue at this point. Hanging out, no vision, and there's the Cold World basic combo at the bottom lane once again.
Yeah, the split push in effect to be able to have the wave management. And now both sides find it out. Airborne knockup. Zane able to find Nats. That's huge for the Bloodthirsty Kings, but they need to get back to safety. Look at the lantern placement. Basic with the side play of the blazing duet to the full team. Best player finding Shark. That is going to be a 1-for-1 trade in the mid lane. Crossbow tank activated with the Winter Crown to buy some time. Hoon will find Cold World. Basic goes back to safety to BMI. Mark Cutie finding Zia. They don't have the ADC. Zane takes down best player. No retribution for Cloud9.
3-for-2 trade over to BTK, feeling good. I mean, they're starting to trade blows. BTK finally starting to being willing to take these fights and handling them well. Cloud9 as well, though. Mark Cutie helped to save that position by getting rid of Zia.
Yeah, I mean, and Zia's become a huge issue for the side of Cloud9, even at 1-4 right now. 14 minutes. He's still got 2 more minutes before he hits that Zia power spike that we know him from the last game here. So still some wiggle room for BTK, but man, just right now, already kind of limiting it down to a 3K gold lead for the side of Cloud9. BTK just is still in it, but
Zane, a little bit of a miscalculated play, now working in his favor, finding Basic, able to sustain himself, and Hoon will find Cold World. Did he just turn this around? The bait working in Zane's favor. Now Zia will shut down Mark Cutie. Only Nats and best player left to defend, and the Lord will go over to the Bloodthirsty Kings.
We're talking one punch, one hit, a millisecond, one moment for MobaZane to take out Basic and completely put this game into their hands.
And just like that, turned it around with one hit. Takes down Basic. 3 down for the side of Cloud9. BTK have, I mean, at least a short answer just now and a 2K gold lead in their favor.
Yeah, but there's still a lot of turrets to go through. Even though they were able to get that objective, they still got to do a little bit more work to get to that base crystal. But effectively, that is a massive victory in terms of objectives, right? It's going to keep them on the playing field and force Cloud9 to be on the defense. But as the Lord marches in on the bot side, BTK will look for a possible punish, but they're going to go and try and burst down this Lord.
But I'm standing, I'm pacing in front of the monitor right now. Anything could happen. I think Cloud9 needs to do what they've been doing. Take it slow, right? They can't rush this. I think when they overextend themselves, when they go for these big plays, that's when the mistakes start to come in. They cannot underestimate BTK at this point. I think they really just need to let BTK come to them, and there it is.
Yeah, the initiation on the way. Zane able to find best player.
Oh!
Be able to get another. Zia finding Nets. That's 2 down for Cloud9. Blazes went into the heart of the battle. Shark falling for the Bloodthirsty Kings, but not going to stop BTK on the push. Minions in the mid lane. AOG Chicken finding Mark Cutie. Moments away with one final strike. Cloud9 will be shut down by the Bloodthirsty Kings. The thread of fate has been severed, and they reclaim the crown as North America's champions.
The whispers laid to rest. The doubts laid to rest. Cloud9 laid to rest as BTK reign victorious.
We said 4 games in a row would be hard. Every year, they do the impossible. The odds are stacked against